Hey everybody, it's Dave Juno, the Meniere's Disease Warrior. How y'all doing? I'm doing pretty good for day after Christmas. I wasn't too good this morning. I'll be honest. I wasn't. I overdid it. But it was so much fun. The last couple of days of Christmas with the grandkids. It just to be 7 and 4 again. But so earlier today, I saw a post. Our guy was talking about his wife, and she really doesn't understand Meniere's and doesn't believe him, thinks it's a joke, wants to know what the end game is. Well, there is no end game. There's no cure. And the guy had Googled something about burnout phase. I've heard of the burnout phase. I've asked doctors about the burnout phase. They said there really isn't. The only thing is that the vertigo tends to lessen, and sometimes it goes away, but you still have the tinnitus. You're still off balance. Your ear still gets full. You still have pretty much all the symptoms. It's not the vertigo. As far as burnout stage or end stage, there isn't. And it depends who you ask. It's like Meniere's. Everybody's different, right? I know some people who 5 years they're burnout, or the vertigo gets limited, and I know people at 30 years and they're still getting vertigo. So everybody's different. So it's kind of not a good way to answer a question like that. But one of the things I can tell you is, one, bring them to a doctor's appointment so they can ask the doctor all these questions and maybe get an understanding of it. I did that 2018. The other thing, and it was great because my wife, it was Dr. Gasek, who has been getting a lot of talk lately. And he was great with her. I think he talked to her more than he talked to me. And if she had a question, she would email him or call him, and he would answer back. So he was great. I got lucky. Some doctors are dicks. He wasn't. He's not a dick. He wasn't. Great guy. The other thing too is have them join a support group with you. Invite them into the support group. They can see all these things, okay? That what people are going through and what people are suffering through and this and that. And they can kind of miss and match. I did that too. My wife was in one of the support groups for a while. And she was like, oh my God. And she learned, because there were other people with this. So that might be a good idea. Invite them into a support group so they can see what everybody else's story is. But the other thing too is even your spouses, you can't force them. Okay, you can drag a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. It's the same thing. You can drag them in there, but it doesn't mean they're going to pay attention. So, those are two things that you can do. All right. And one thing I did with a friend of mine a few years ago that believed I was sick but didn't believe it was that bad. I got my cane. I went and got my cane. I have a cane and a walker, but I don't use the walker very rarely. I think the last time I used it was maybe 3 years ago. The cane, I got the cane. I said, okay, hold the cane down on the ground, put your head on it, bend over, spin around until I tell you stop. 20, 30 seconds. Stop. Okay, drop the cane. And they dropped. And they were for 10 minutes, they were like this. And they were like, that what you go through? I'm like, yeah. Oh my God. And the reason why I'm saying that is because a lot of times people are not going to believe you until they go through it themselves. And especially this day and age. Even your spouses. Because nobody believes anybody anymore. Okay? And another thing is that Meniere's is so rare. In the whole grand scheme of the world, okay, what's this? 6 billion people in the world? 7 billion people in the world? It's like 0.02% may have Meniere's disease. And it's not going to kill you. So people aren't jumping to do all kinds of research on it. because it's not like ALS. It's not like MS. It's not like, a cancer. Um, all these things that can affect, and some of them have an end game called death. Um, so they get more attention than we will when it comes to research. Okay? And don't blame Big Pharma. Okay? I mean, so many people are saying that. Oh, Big Pharma, Big Pharma, Big Pharma. Don't blame Big Pharma about everything. Okay? All right? There are just some things we don't have the technology to cure everything. And, I know it's easy to blame others. That's another thing. People love to blame everybody, point fingers and blame people. Don't do that. All you're doing is making yourself mad and stressing everybody else out. But there's so many other things that can kill people that they need to try to save lives before they deal with things that won't kill somebody. I mean, yeah, okay. I said that once before, and somebody said, you could die from veneers. Yeah, if you fall down a flight of stairs, okay. But, but it's not, technically it's not a fatal disease, so you're not going to die from it. So they don't jump on that. Now there's, Sound Pharmaceutical who's talking about Epsilon, they get it in clinical trials. And every time I mention Epsilon, somebody has to ask me when it's coming out and what we'll do. I'm not answering those questions. I've answered enough of those questions. I won't do it anymore. If I see the comment on here about Epsilon on my YouTube channel, I will delete the comment. I just will not go to that realm anymore. Because I don't know. None of us know. I don't care what you pull up. The only person who's talking about Epsilon is Sound Pharmaceuticals. So I won't answer questions about it on my YouTube page. In groups, that's different. YouTube, no. Oh, that's it. But really, that's the only one that's doing a medical thing, and there's some new surgery procedures. Is one I'm going to be going through with it. It's the anaphylactic surgery, but where my facial nerve is, my anatomy's messed up, so they got to do it different, and it's a different way they've been doing the surgeries lately. So I might be going through that soon. But as far as, having people understand that, it's just a hard thing to do. And there's nothing wrong with that post. It's a great post. It's, we need to vent, and that's another thing. Venting is what helps us. These support groups help us. That's why I get mad when people start calling everybody names and this and that, and we're here to help each other. And I'm hoping this video helps this gentleman and maybe some other people. So let's review. What are some of the things you can do to try to get them to understand? Bring them to a doctor's appointment. Invite them into a support group so they can see what's going on. And maybe do the old baseball trick where you make them spin around. See, and then they might understand. But other than that, like I said, you can drag a horse to water. You can't make them drink. You can bring somebody to church, but you can't make them believe. They have to believe on their own. So on that note, hey, have a great night. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday yesterday. Happy Hanukkah to my Jewish friends. And happy Kwanzaa to the people who celebrate that. And I will talk to you all soon. Take care.